Welcome to day 2. You survived day 1. Okay, so today we're going to talk about adding integers. And most of you already know about adding integers, but let's look at one particular problem. Let's say I had 5 plus negative 3. 5 plus negative 3. Now, when I write these problems, I like to put my negatives in parentheses. It doesn't denote multiplication. It just makes everything look clear. But 5 plus negative 3. Do you remember the method that I told you that it's my favorite method for adding and subtracting positives and negatives? I like to think of it as a scoreboard. So I look at how many the positive have versus how many the negatives have. So if we're going to think of this as a scoreboard, the positives have 5 and the negatives have 3. So now the question is, who won and by how much? So in this competition, who won and by how much? That's right, the positives won by 2. So the answer to this problem is positive 2. Another way to think of this problem, it depends on how your brain works, is kind of like to think of it visually. So same problem. So I have 5 positives. They're represented by the circles with P's in it. If you would actually like to do this at your house and like hold it, you could make the positives be pennies for P and the negatives be nickels for N. So I have 5 positives and 3 negatives. Now, they're kind of in a battle. And so whenever they fight against each other, pairs cancel out. So these cancel out, these cancel out, these cancel out. And we need to look at who's left standing. So let's look at who's standing. Well, there's 2 standing and they're both what? They're positive. So the answer is positive 2. Whichever way you like will work. It doesn't matter which one you choose. It just, as long as you get an answer, I'm happy. That's my favorite way of working with positives and negatives. So let's do just a few problems before you get started so you can make sure that you know how to do it. Let's look at negative 10 plus 7. Okay, negative 10 plus 7. If I'm thinking of this as a scoreboard, I would have how many negatives? I would have 10 negatives and 7 positives. Now let's look at our scoreboard. Who won and by how much? The negatives won by 3. So the answer is negative 3. If you're playing battle, you would have 10 nickels, 7 pennies, and you'd knock everybody out, and you'd have 3 nickels standing. Let's see, one last problem to throw in here for you. Let's say that I had negative 6 plus negative 5. Now, this is a little bit weird, but if you're thinking of it as a scoreboard method, think of it this way. The positives never scored. In the first quarter, the negatives scored 6, and in the second quarter, the negatives scored 5. The positives never put anything on the board. So in the end, who's the winner? In the end, the negatives win, and they win by 11. If you were going to use the penny and nickel method, you would put 11 pennies out, or you would not. 11 nickels out, because N is for negative, and you wouldn't even put pennies on the game board. If you want something challenging to do today, I challenge you to teach if you have a little sibling, teach them how to add and subtract positives and negatives using the penny and nickel method. I have no doubt that you can teach your little brother or your little sister how to add and subtract, or how to add integers using the penny and nickel method, because it's like a game. If you do that, send me a picture or a video and let me know that you tried. Now, oh, I almost forgot. Day 2, our puzzle is, yesterday we did what from the classroom is up here. Now, where is it? Oh, I moved it. Sorry. If you got it right, it was a tape dispenser, and it was right here. So today, something has been switched in the background from yesterday. Can you see it? Do you know what it is? Put it at the bottom. There'll be a question at the bottom of your homework today. What has been switched up here? We'll see. I hope you have a great day. You have to do a Google form, and there's also a fun assignment for you to do. It's a game. If you complete that, send me a picture of your final score, and I'd love to see how you're doing. Have a great day.